Good afternoon to all. We are about to start the debate. We need your undivided attention, please. If you keep talking to yourselves, you will not hear the candidates. We can do that after the debate. Please, let's give the candidates our attention. I believe you came here to hear from them. And so let us be attentive, because there's a lot that is at stake. I want to invite our presidential candidates. As I call their name, please clap for them, okay? Steve BOLEY. Mr. Harry K.
Thank you.
When we talk over, the reason why we did not jump immediately to the Constitution is because there were competing priorities, such as we needed to make sure the community starts to move again. My people, if you can recall, when COVID hit, everybody was afraid. And our community was hit hard because we had a couple of deaths in our community. So our people were not even motivated to come outside. They didn't even want to have meetings. People did not even care as much as possible for the Liberian Association. I saw the Lester administration try their best to ensure that they host meetings via Zoom and other things. And we attended those meetings. However, our priority at the time was to ensure that we bring our people out, motivate our people, and create an enabling environment. At that time, the Constitution was secondary.
Thank you.
It was not primary. But I want to also say this for the record. Mr. Harry was not the one that took money from a pocket to sponsor the July 26th. The records are there. Liberians voluntarily contributed, whether it was for drink, whether it was for food. So the credit must be given to you, and thank you so much to our community for being very successful and for being very, very active.
Thank you. I have a
Mr. BOLEY was elected president of the Liberian Association. He has his responsibility, constitutional responsibility. He asked me to serve as chair of the July 26th team. I told you what I did to ensure that the program was successful. I credited the association $900. It cannot be disproved. We could not get the hall. I took my money. Those who read the report, it's in the report that Harry credited $900. I sponsored the meet and greet. I took the money from my pocket, my own money. The food, there's a lady called Cynthia, 19 in Glendale. I call her.
Mr. Harris, according to the Constitution, Article 14, it says before one is eligible to become a contestant to contest for any position, he or she must have attended a meeting for a minimum of 6 months consecutively. And according to the records, the attendance record shows that you did not attend meeting for 6 months. That shows that you're not qualified to contest as a president. So my question to you, would it be very fair, will you consider it fair if the Election Commission right now were to disqualify you and allow this man to run on a web ballot?
It says you shall attend general meeting for the past 6 months. For the past 6 months. So within the past 6 months, you must attend general meeting. The Constitution did not say you must attend every general meeting in the past 6 months. It did not say that. It did not say you must attend each general meeting for the past 6 months. Have I attended meetings in the past 6 months? Yes, I have. I told you that I hosted meetings. I've attended a couple of meetings in the past 6 months. Thank you.
Brother Edwin, thank you for that question. For the record, if you go in the chat room or what the board of directors reported, we turn over to the credit of Dr. Sherman, and the rest of the leadership. even as far as Lester Myers' leadership or his administration, they turn over the 501c3 document to us, and we turn it over to the board of directors. It is signed for, and they have it on the record. But on another note, Mr. Harry, who's running for the presidency, did not tell the Liberian people the truth. Harry did not attend more than 4 meetings. I challenge him because the records are there. Secondly, Harry was not appointed just as a committee chair. Harris was appointed, for the record, as the social committee chair for this organization, one of the 5 steering committees, for which we made him the head of the July 26 program. We could not make Mr. Lead the head of it because he is not part of the executive administration. But Harry is running away from his record, and he's saying that this administration failed.
Do we have any documentation to that effect, sir?
Most definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, so I was actually interested in also getting the documentation. Do you have any, communication that pointed me to or head that committee? I didn't receive any formal communication. I didn't receive any communication telling me about my, my responsibility or my performance indicator. What I know was that I was in a meeting. And in that meeting, the president asked me to chair the July 26th committee. That's what I know. If the president has a communication that you serve me, telling me my responsibility, what you expect me to do, you present that communication, and I will put my hand up. But
Thank you.
Until then, I'm not aware of that.
I think I have the perfect opportunity to respond to that. Folks, to tell you we're about seriousness in this community and want to move the community forward. But in order to do that, we have to do it with integrity, and we have to do it with credibility. Mr. GKONEAN telling us here about the Constitution that he wants reform, but he does not even know that his role is enshrined in the Constitution. Why must I be redundant enough to give you another role to say this is your role when you've read the Constitution and your role says it as a social committee head?
But Mr. Boley, you did say you had documentation to that effect.
Can you give me the communication that pointed me as social chair? I can apologize to the membership. I'm not big to do that. If you can give me a communication that shows that you appointed me as social chair, maybe I didn't read it properly. And I will apologize if you can show that.
Thank you. We'll move on. Thank you.
Okay, Steve. So, my question go to Harry first. So, we had a lot of pull and push in the committee chart regarding your vice president not returning election commissioner about her absence. And then we had the commissioner to also coming back with a document supporting that. In this public manner, because it's an integrity issue, are you going to say you accept that the commission was right, that your candidate communicated with them? And then if so, please apologize to them. And then, Mr. Steve Boley, we all work together. It was nice having Harry on the team. I know it's a tough day for you tonight, but I want to ask you, in your failure to provide those services for our community that Harry is talking about, can you openly say here tonight that Harry did not give you the support that you needed to get this thing done, or you're going to say openly that you did not give Harry responsibility to get a job done? Thank you.
Thank you.
No clapping.
Mr. Cordier, you first.
Yeah, two interesting concerns. My vice presidential candidate was bereaved. Her grand-aunt died, and we engaged the commission to just give her an opportunity to go and bury her grand-aunt. It was the same day of the debate. So we try to work with them to see how we can shift the date of the debate to either, both debates on the same day so she can deal with her burial. They refused. And she abandoned the burial, she stayed, and she debated with Emmanuel. So I'm not sure why he brought that issue. But here's the thing. Steve was given an opportunity to lead this community as president. Steve is not saying he failed because of me. We gave you responsibility. If you appointed me, I'm not doing my job, let me go. Bring another people. There are thousands of the community. How are you and your vice president not blaming me for the failure of the administration? You were elected, I was not. You should have given another Liberian the opportunity to lead the community, to serve in that capacity. You did not do that. And why should I take the blame now for the failure of the administration?
Thank you, Mr. GKONEAN. Mr. Boley?
Vice President Emmanuel, first of all, I think you got to listen to the question. The question was in context. If Harry is claiming, is Harry who has been claiming over and over that our administration failed. It is Harry who has been claiming. But you can't have it both ways if the administration failed according to Harry. You can't say you conducted a successful program under a failed administration. You want to take credit for the program that was successful, but the administration failed. You can say that. They can both cannot be right. So Harry got to reconcile that. But on the other hand, this administration did not fail. And how I know this administration did not fail, we were able, under our administration, as we are still in charge of the affair of this community up until the 20th, which is next Saturday, these men and women who are the election commission chair, the best of the best in our community, our administration were able to ensure that we went to them, reach out to them, and make sure we present them to the community for the community to elect them. Today, you are sitting here today because we have an election commission who set all of this up for us to be here. You can't say our administration failed when you have, as we sit right now, the Liberian Association in its history, I will keep saying it to you, had only two
in real time with tangibles, in examples. What are some things you would do to immediately transform our community and that your leadership will show instantly?
Oh yeah. Great question. So one of the things we want to do, as soon as we take over, we're going to launch a youth mentorship program. Our young folks in the community, they're involved into substance abuse, gun violence. The last 2 years, nothing happened with young people in the community. I have a plan to deliver on that. We will launch the program. We will solicit volunteers. Some of you over here are professional people. You're going to serve as volunteers. We will link you with these young people in the community. We ask you 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, so you can interact with these people and help them in their career development, in their personal development. This is one of the things we also want to do, is we want to ensure that we launch what we call a presidential advisory committee. We'll go across the community, leaders of different ethnic groups. We're going to take you, we bring you into one committee. Religious leaders, we're going to bring you guys together to sit with you and have regular conversation. We will link that with what we call a quarterly lecture series, where we will call community leaders, we will call professional people, business leaders. You're going to come here and sit and have a conversation. Let's interact, share your perspective, share your experience, and share processes through which we as members of the community can also benefit from that. So those are practical examples of some of the many things we think we can do to empower the community.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We move on to Mr. Boley. Mr. Boley, what do you think that you are the best candidate to lead this committee for the next 2 years?
Well, first of all, I believe we are well situated to be the leaders for the next 2 years. As evidenced by that, in the history of Arizona Liberian Association, when I want to commend everyone that have served in the past, including President Lester Meyer, who's here, all the foundation that they laid from the past, we build up on that. For example, even my counterpart here came to the Liberian Association because we brought him on and gave him opportunity. Not only that, the vice president, his vice president, we brought her on and gave her opportunity. But what they fail to understand is when we took over 2 years ago, right after Lester's administration, one of the things we focus on, and you see, we will be speaking not only from the air, but we'll be speaking with facts. I want to present this quickly as a copy for them. That's an evidence of some of the things that we promised when we took over. So, one of the things we decided to do was to unite our community. And in order to unite the community, we had to have all the organizations in Arizona on board. For example, the Manigua Association. They were not interested in coming to the Liberian Association meeting. We were able to convince, to talk to them, work with them. And today, they are fully on board. Not only that, the GKONEAN Association, they are fully on board. We went as far as the GKONEAN Association. We went in the GKONEAN Association, asked one of their leaders to serve as our chaplain. She willingly accepted. Sister Grace Bodo, she currently serves with us. But not only that, we decided to engage into the membership drive. The membership drive was to ensure that we got members. Today, through our administration, we're able to register more than 450 Liberian people today. When we took over, President Lester Myers turned over 2,000 and change to us. Today, in our account, we have 18,000. But not only that, folks.
Please don't clap it.
Not only that, folks.
Please.
Not only that, folks. We also decided that we embark on a journey to unite.
Your 2 minutes up, we'll give you 30 seconds, please.
We embark on a journey to unite our people. So what we decided to do, in as much that we were critical, because as president, you got to be able to link Arizona to the rest of the world. We registered Arizona with ULA, the Liberian Association, the Liberian Union Association in Americas. But we also turned around, we wrote the ambassador, who was a seditious at the time. We wrote Jefferson Kochi, who was a seditious at the time, just so we ensure that Liberia was on the map. I want to present it as evidence.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Boley. The moderator have a follow-up question for please. The moderator have a follow-up question, please. Yeah, please. So, Mr. Boley, can you clearly tell Liberian people what did you achieve in the last 2 years and why should they give you a second chance? Please.
Thank you so much. Among some of the things that are named that we achieved, one of the things that we achieved is to bring all Liberians together in one place. The chat room, where we are insulted daily and accused daily. Our administration opened that chat room where Liberians can publish whether you have a wedding, someone passed away from you, Liberians are able to connect and reunite. But not only that, folks, one of the things we did that brought us the name of Liberian Association on board, we went to ULA. We went for the very first time to their convention. Guess what? We won Miss ULA in Americas. So at that also, what we did as an administration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, can I
we have a follow-up question.
So, Mr. Moderator, our people are here, to get the facts, right? And to leave this place very informed.
Thank you.
So, I just want an opportunity to just briefly respond to some of the things the President.
And that's why I'm giving you the opportunity to do that right now.
I appreciate
I'll give you a 30-second opportunity to do that.
Good, thank you.
Go ahead.
So if you listen to the President, so the President achievement, the reason why 4 years ago, are you guys hearing me? Yeah. The reason why 4 years ago he contested against Lester Morris, he did not win. He attended three meetings in 2 years. He abandoned the Liberian Association. 2 years after he came, he contested, he went on a post, was to establish a WhatsApp group chat. That's his achievement, he just told you. He established a WhatsApp group chat. That is his achievement. He told you that he called the Madigopo to come to a meeting. That is his achievement of unifying the Liberian community.
Thank you, Mr.
There's no record of any meeting that has over 50 members ever under Steve's administration.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you.
Your story is not a joke. Let's be serious here, Mr. President.
Thank you. Boley, I have a question in follow-up to what you said. You did state that 400 plus Liberians, you brought the community together. We have 400 plus registered Liberians. Now, it can be said that the report that was turned in yesterday by the board chair, right, it has that 440 something number of Liberians registered for 2024. It's unfair to say all of that would be attributed to your leadership because this is a campaign and other people were involved in getting these members to register or to be eligible to vote in this. What do you have to say?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, put your hand on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think to the moderator, Tamara, I think that's a very, very good question. Timandra, it's a very good question. But here is something that we must understand. Until the 20th of this month, which is next week, Saturday, when there is an opportunity given us or given to another person, we are still in leadership. This is not mutually exclusive. The bowl works with us. We work with the bowl. We are still working together. We are not divided. So our administration, in our time, it is also fair, it is accurate that we take credit for whatever happened on our administration. If we can take the backlash, we should also be able to take the credit.
Thank you, Mr. Boley. I will push back on that to say you're not going to take credit for this because the board was responsible for the LAA. So we need to be honest about what we tell our people, so that way we all have a clear understanding. Before these elections, you turn everything about your administration over to the board. Up until 11:59, a few days ago, we had people registered. So by then, you were not in charge of the LA, the board was.
Can I
so sorry, Mr. Konya. So let's just agree that it's unfair, or it's fair to say everybody contributed for the betterment of the community.
Well, gentlemen, we're going to move on. Next question, gentlemen, we're going to move on. Our next question is, what is the purpose of the executive committee, of which both of you, if elected, will be heading that committee?
Yeah, so...
Mr. Harris, you want to go first?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
is this working?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so before I answer that question,
Go ahead.
when the president, when his executive committee turned over the administrative and financial records and authority to the board, you did not register more than 15 members. You turned over anywhere between 41 to 49 members. So to say 400, you're misinforming the public. The financial record, you did not turn over 18,000 to the board. You turned over $5,790. The report is here, was published by the board. The additional funds were funds that were received when the board served as the administrator of the association. So that was another misinformation. To answer your question, the executive committee is the administrative arm of the association. So the executive committee basically runs the day-to-day activities of the association. It's headed by the president, the vice president, the secretary general, and the financial secretary. They have a responsibility to fill outstanding committees, give the committees responsibility to implement the constitutional role of the association.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Boley, you next.